Hey, everybody, welcome to the Social Distance Show. Thank you for joining me once again. My name is Ben Barber. I am the host of the show that will never end, though I hope that it does every single day of my life. I hope that I can say this is going to be the last episode of the Social Distance Show. And I kind of really wish that I could say that today was the last episode of the Social Distance Show because I'm really excited about my guest. We've had an amazing string of guests. Last night we had Ryan Felice, who is a video producer, an audio video producer at Nintendo, and has done a lot of cool things. The night before that, we had Georgia Dunn, who is a author of a syndicated comic series called Breaking Cat News. Check both of those out. And tonight, I am really excited about my guest, Dustin Lee. Dustin is a videographer. He is a comedian. He works. I'm just, you know what? I don't know why I do these intros. He's right here. I'm just going to bring him on and let him tell you what he does.
What's
Hey,
up, man?
Dustin, how
What's
are you?
up? Good.
Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
I really appreciate it. You are. Tell everybody what you do. How would you describe yourself?
I guess you could say I'm a videographer for Gary Vaynerchuk on Team GaryVee. But I started off as an editor, and it just snowballed into like a jack of all trades type of role.
I imagine. I imagine you kind of have to be at that. Like, you know, is there any well, first of all, let's take that back to so that's a really cool position that you have now, and obviously something that is the reason why I know who you are and wanted to have you on and talk to you, which by the way, thank you very much for doing this.
My pleasure.
Um but when did you get into editing and video and all of the stuff that's made you a part of this?
Um, I've always liked, I've always, since I was maybe like 13, I always wanted to do like video work. But mind you, I'm 35, so this was a long time ago. And back then, it's like editing was like not a thing. Like people did it for fun, and I just didn't see it to be like a career at all. So like that was a dream that I pretty much gave up right away. But I was always really interested in just like making videos, making edits, like BMX riding and stuff like that. Um, then that just like faded for like a decade, and then when I first discovered Gary, like something just clicked in my head, and I decided to try to start like a YouTube career type of thing in mid 2015. Didn't do that good, but it still like made me like try to start editing videos. Um, my friend Evan just taught me like basic controls on Premiere, and then just went from there pretty much.
Um, you have that makes a lot of sense to me. I think that that's kind of how everybody gets into video editing. You know, like you wanna do something small for yourself, and
Mhm.
then um, did you? I have been around video editing for a long time, but never did it myself. We used to make like comedy videos and stuff after high school, and I'm 32. Um, and you know, we didn't have like the first time somebody bought a Mac in like '06, it was crazy, and we all used Final Cut and stuff like that. But it was just I would sit like I would be the director and I would sit and watch somebody do it. And I only started doing my own editing like a year ago.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, like somebody just started teaching me the little tricks and stuff. So to watch what you do now, I saw a an Instagram the other day of you doing like a stop motion. No, it wasn't stop motion, but you took yourself out of an image
Hmm.
and you sort of went behind the scenes of how you did it in Premiere,
Hmm.
which was really cool and like super technical and I loved it, and it was amazing. And when did you like get the bug of like, okay, my friend showed me a couple things, and now like I just want to keep editing and editing and editing?
Um, I mean, like I said, I wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I didn't want to do the vlog thing really because it just like no, I'm not knocking anyone that does it. It's just at the time I didn't like talking to the camera so much. Like I just didn't like I felt very uncomfortable. And so I just wanted to do different things like just funny, goofy stuff. But I know that also required like having to know how to edit. Like I made one, like the one that I always like to talk about is I pretty much made a real life version of like a BMX video game from like a third person angle.
Oh wow.
And yeah, like I made this backpack thing that held a GoPro like a little bit further back, so it looks like kind of like not exactly like an RPG. I don't know what the video game terms are, but and then I made like the points and the graphics and all that stuff pop up, and I just had to like I just like thinking about that type of stuff just so someone's like, oh shit, that's cool.
Right.
And then I just had to figure like I mean I used YouTube to pretty much like figure everything out, just like how to green screen someone out, like something like that. Just
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's incredible. Obviously you can learn anything on Google and YouTube and all of that stuff right now.
mhm.
So that's, I mean, that's awesome. But so you said in like 2015 you started getting introduced to Gary, and by that I mean his content, I would
Yeah.
assume. And then that sort of, so how much of an inspiration was he before you started to work for him, and then how did you get the opportunity to actually work for him and become a part of Team Gary V?
So the first time I heard him was on the radio in 2015. Actually, no, I think it was 2016. I heard him on Elvis Duran. It's like our local radio station, and just everything he was saying was like making sense to me. And I mean, I didn't like quit my job the next day, but like just I just saw these other signs. Like my friends are pretty like they're pretty big YouTubers, and I started like I got connected. Well, they were like riders from the bike company I was talking about, Merit, and my friend that owns the company connected us, and then just like gave me ideas like, oh, maybe I could do this too. Um, and then just other signs. Like another thing was like I remember seeing that Jim Carrey commencement speech, just saying like you could fail at doing something you don't love, so why not give something you love a try? So then that like all this stuff just kind of like inspired me to like really like I did quit my job eventually, and then try to pursue the YouTube thing. I mean, I also created a Seinfeld based meme account, so I was able to like get some revenue from that. So I wasn't like a complete bum. But then, so then, yeah, I was just, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so you really followed the advice then that you're now helping to push out of, like, I mean, creating a Seinfeld based meme account that generates some income for you is the definition of a Gary V
Yeah. I
um
mean, like
inspiration.
I'm not an entrepreneur by any means, but
Right.
I just, at the time was just not happy with the job I was at and just wanted to like see if I could. And it was like a leap of faith, and it was scary to like actually try to do this. And everyone was like, no, I didn't really have too much good support except my girlfriend right now. Like she's pretty much the only one that really supported me. Um, but yeah, it was tough, and like I didn't like my vision was like, okay, maybe if I just try this YouTube thing, maybe in 10 years I'll end up being working for Gary Vaynerchuk or something like that. And that's how I just try to think of it. But at the same time, I'm also really impatient. So it's like it was a real tough mental battle for me. Um, But then, yeah, so then in 2017, D-Rock put out a video called like looking for content creators on YouTube. And then I applied for it. That was in October 2017 and got rejected. Then I think they put out, I forget if they put out another video or they just hit me back like 5 months later, applied again, got rejected. Then I just kind of like was like, all right, I guess that's not happening. And then like a month later, Andy calls me, or like he emails me, gives me like a homework assignment pretty much. And no, sorry, I mixed that up. He brought me in for an interview and met with me. Then gave me like a homework assignment. I sent it in like the next day. Didn't hear from him. And then another month goes by, and I figured, okay, I guess I don't know if I could curse on here.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
I was gonna say I fucked up. That's what I thought. I was like, fuck, I guess I blew it. And then one day I was out trying to make a tutorial BMX video, and in the middle of it, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, are you still interested in working as a videographer?" I'm like, "Yeah." So can you come in? Can you come in tomorrow? I'm like, okay. So then, yeah, I just went in the next day. He pretty much gave me like a trial period to like try, like, because I had like no real life video background or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I just put my head down and just like worked for that month like as hard as I could, because I was like, every day I felt like, okay, they're gonna fire me, like they're gonna let me go, and it just didn't happen, thank God. But yeah, like it was a struggle, but I mean, everything. I have no regrets or anything. Like everything worked out, so I'm like super happy.
What did so what was it like for you to go from your, because like Gary Vaynerchuk is a like the definition of work ethic and hustle and a daily routine that you know, would make you literally makes people tired just watching the videos.
Yeah.
And then to be a part of Team Gary and a videographer means that you guys are, you know, with him and following him and doing all of that stuff. And I know that there's quite a few of you, but what is that schedule like for you, having to try to match that a little bit? Or how much of what he does do you guys have to match? Like
it's weird. Like he doesn't expect us to work as hard as he does, but we are also like almost always on call to like if he needs something. So, but it's not like he doesn't force us to do anything. It's just, but I think everyone on Team Gary is a hard worker and wants to like do everything they can. And like if he's like, hey, I need this video, like right now, if it's like a Sunday night or something like that, it's like, yeah, like we got it. Like someone jumps on it. So
right, that makes sense to me because, you know, my like as a videographer and somebody that's doing like post-production work for my clients, which is not even close to the same level as what you're doing, but it's the same thing, you know, on a smaller scale. Like if there's an idea or there's something that needs to get done or something that needs to get pushed out, like, you know, but I would imagine that it's nice having a team and because there's so much attention that needs to be put to everything. Do you enjoy? Well, do you enjoy working with the team and with so many like-minded people that are all creative types that are videographers and editors, and like it must be cool to work in an environment like that because most of the time a videographer is working by themselves.
yeah, like because we work off each other and everyone has different ideas. Like I'm more of like on the goofy side than like the artsy side. Like Jason's pretty much doing he's the only one that does like the weekly V, and like he was doing daily V before that, and like they would look like pieces of art. And like I never was like, oh look, I want to, like, recently we've been talking about like switching roles a little bit, and I'm like, I don't want to do weekly V because like you do that and mine, it's gonna look like garbage if I do it. So yeah, like I mean, I just stick with Instagram just because that's kind of like my world, especially since I built like Seinfeld, the Costanzagrams. So it's just like kind of more my world. But like D-Rock, he's like both. I think he likes doing the funny stuff, but he also likes doing like the nice, like elegant, artsy looking stuff too. And Caleb, I think Caleb had previous experience doing just video work, and he just has a lot of good knowledge. So it's like it's just cool to like work with everyone because everyone's has a different experience, and it's just cool to like pick at everyone's brains a little bit.
How has the transition been to with the lockdown and the quarantine?
I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, because like even when we're before the quarantine, when I was at the office, I was pretty much in my own zone. Like I have a lot to do, and I don't want to stay till like 10 at night. So like
Right.
I use the 9 hours I'm there, like to, like every single minute I want to make it useful. So like yeah, so yeah, like at the office I'm just kind of like in my own zone, and so it's kind of like I'm on myself. So like being at home, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. That's cool. At least it's not that big of a difference. What outside of work, what's driving you crazy right now about? Because I assume you are either in New York or close to it.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously, like it's not the ideal situation right now to be in.
Yeah.
So what outside of work are you like missing right now? What's a struggle?
I mean, obviously, I would like to ride my bike, especially since the weather's getting better. I mean, I love running. So like when the first week of quarantine, I was running outside, and now it's just kind of like, fuck, like I'm kind of like paranoid about going out there.
Right.
And so yeah, that's the only thing. Like I like being active, like physically active too, and that's just the thing that sucks so far for me right now.
Yeah. And is there anything that you actually are enjoying about being stuck at home? Like, what are you grateful for about the quarantine?
Like we just moved, me and my girlfriend, to like a nicer building. Like it was on March 2nd, so it was like right before all this started getting crazy, and we were like thinking of waiting till April too. So we're just so glad we didn't wait that long. Like we had to pay double rent, but we're like, fuck it, like let's just do it. And then so yeah, like we're just really happy being in this new place at least. So really hasn't been that bad because like we're enjoying our new place. We like our cats are happier, and the internet's good. So yeah, like we're like everything's pretty good for us.
That's awesome. So, tell me your Instagram lists you as a comedian.
No, that's just a joke. Like not really.
But I mean, you are very goofy and you enjoy being funny, clearly, and you know there's some truth to that. I mean, a comedian in 2020 is not necessarily just a stand-up. So like I know that you clearly enjoy making comedic Instagrams, and are you on TikTok? I assume.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I love TikTok. I love TikTok.
That was probably a really stupid
No,
question.
no, no.
But that's kind of, I mean, I get that it's a joke, but it's kind of true. Like that's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
put it in the description because
I mean
um
that's kind of like why I started doing the whole YouTube thing. Cause well, like that was kind of my idea to like I didn't want to do because so when I first started, I watched this video pretty much like like pretty much breaking down the idea of why videos go viral, and like some topics were like shocking, scare, like someone gets scared, like just like frightening, like just I guess like news or something like that,
right.
something crazy, something motivating, or and then the biggest one was something funny, and that was just like kind of like an eye opener for me because like I've always just like being the class clown too in like high school, and I just always gravitated towards just funny. I just always liked it because it makes me feel good, makes other people feel good. So I mean, I just always want like that's what a lot of my content is. Just I just want people to laugh. Like I want people to feel good about it, and I think in like a weird subconscious way, like if this whole thing fails of me not being a videographer anymore, like I'll probably pursue stand-up comedy. Like
That's, I mean, and it's hilarious to say stand-up comedy is a backup plan,
yeah, I know.
but I mean, like screw it, do whatever you want to do. Like um and and I think that that's amazing. What do you do in your downtime other than ride your bike, create videos? Not, I mean, not that you necessarily have very much downtime, but uh what do you do in your downtime when you're not doing anything?
um I mean, I used to make a lot more TikToks, like, because it's more fun. But recently, I just like I'm just so busy that when I am not working anymore, I just want to do nothing. I just want to sit and like just eat, watch some TV, and I'm like, I'm good.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who who's a follow that you really like? Who's somebody that you follow on Instagram or TikTok that you think that more people should know about?
Um. Well, on Instagram, I'm not really sure, but TikTok, like, there's this one kid on there that I just love watching. His name is Brendan LMAO. Like he pretty much go. It's like he goes. Well, I first saw his videos when he was going to like pawn shops with like a ridiculous item, like asking pretty much like all made up items. Like he would go to a pawn shop, bring a box, and just be like try to like negotiate like $10,000 for an empty box. Just like weird stuff like that. Like he just had a lot of balls, like the stuff that he would say,
Right.
and I just think he's hilarious. He's like a young kid too, so it's so funny.
Um oh, you know something about TikTok, and I don't know if you can comment on this or not. There are so many parody videos of Gary Vee on TikTok. Almost as many, not nearly because he's so prolific, but there's almost as many parody videos as there are videos.
Yeah,
Uh, does he? I assume he likes that.
yeah. I
Does
mean,
he? Did like?
I've sent him some just because I
Yeah.
wanted to see if he would like comment on it because I'm trying to get him to like just comment on things more,
Right.
like not like other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've sent some in and he's definitely seen it, but he's also like on there on his own and he sees it.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I'm not really
But
sure what he thinks about it though. Like I don't know. I really don't know what he's how he
that's
feels about it.
it's just it's. I feel like every single day there's just multiple ones that come up. Probably because I only follow like 10 people on there. But so final thoughts. Thank you this isn't really a final thought. I just want to say thank you, because you have been super cool to me for the last 2 weeks, and I really appreciate it. Um, like I can't even begin to, because I produce podcasts and I produce videos. Like again, like I wouldn't even call myself a videographer. I have to because like nobody would know what the hell I'm talking about if I didn't. But you know, so it's been very I'm very grateful that you took the time to actually like talk to me. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you coming on the show today. And so I just want to say thank you because
No,
this is
no.
very, very cool for me. I I I think I started watching. I knew who. So a couple years ago, I started doing podcasts and stuff for a local group, and the guy that I was doing them for was like, "Hey, if you're doing this, you need to read jab, 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 right hook." And I completely blew him off. Um, and he's literally the person whose show I'm going to produce in a half hour.
Nice.
But so I don't care. He's the Caswell, you're a jackass.
I never
But
read it, so don't
yeah.
worry.
So and he didn't know when I told him that like I was talking to you. He didn't remember who Gary was. So but then last summer I started watching the like daily V's and stuff a little bit, and then like I had a really some people that are watching this locally will know um I had like a really rough early beginning of this year. Both of my parents were in the hospital, and like with serious stuff separately.
Mm.
And I instead of focusing on that, like I took all of the extra time that I had and I wanted to really start making stuff, more stuff for myself and more stuff for the people around me. And I put a lot of that positivity into my ears, as he would say, and I started focusing on the stuff that I wanted to do myself and for my community. So when the quarantine happened and there were opportunities to do stuff for the community, like I was happy to step up and do that. And it was really cool that I was an annoying person who reached out to you with an annoying comment, and you took the time to actually talk to me. And I just want to say that I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate everything that you do to put a good message out into the world. So thank you very much, and your own shit, like your Instagram and everything are hilarious. They really are. So you in and of yourself, despite what not despite, but in addition to what you do for your job, you're an amazing dude, which is why I put that in the caption too. So thank you very much. You definitely made my week. So I appreciate
Nah,
that.
I'm glad you reached out because I would have never discovered StreamYard. Like otherwise, I would have been still doing the same thing. And like I'm switching over to it next week, so I'm gonna see how that goes. I mean, I think it's gonna be fine. But like, yeah, like if I'm so glad that you reached out to me because like this is awesome. Like I'd also just like being I'm terrible at like conversation, but like in real life I'm really
Yeah.
bad at it. But yeah, like it's just sometimes when people DM me, I'm just way better at like responding than in person.
Same.
Like
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like every time like someone comes up to me, even I have like pretty much no friends at work because I'm just a terrible conversationist. Like they just like, hey, what's up? I'm just like, bye. Like I just don't know what to say.
Right.
So yeah, like I'm I'm glad you reached out to me. So it's all good. And I read all my DMs. So
Yeah.
like,
And you can follow Dustin at Dustin.Justin. Is that something? Do people say Justin a lot?
you would not even believe how bad it is. Like I have to, whenever I order like food, when they have to take your name, I go Dustin, and they're like Justin. I'm like, Yeah. I just say yeah.
I'm a little nasally, like naturally, and people always when I say Ben on the phone, they think I'm saying like Steven sometimes. It's real, so I always just use my best friend's name, Dave, because it's people never get that wrong. Um so thank you so much, man, and I hope it works out. And also, like, I saw, though, after I had talked to you about it, I saw in Weekly V the very intricate process of how you are making the Tea with Gary V happen every week. And I was like, shit, man. Yeah, the reason why I know about this program is because I tried to do what you were doing for an hour and a half and went, this is too hard. I'm just going to give up. So, I really I think you do amazing work, and I think you were doing amazing work before this. And you guys can, hear Dustin and check out his work daily. Is it daily, Monday through Friday right now?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
And depending on how Gary, what mood he's in, sometimes sometimes on the weekends.
Yeah. So Tea with Gary V and all of that stuff. And follow Dustin. More importantly, I mean, Gary gets enough love. At Dustin, not Justin. You're an amazing dude. Thank you so much for taking a half hour to talk to me.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Bye. That was so cool for me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I know my mic was low or something for the first half of that, and it sounded like there was water. I don't care. Um, that was really cool. So in a half hour, we have Jonathan Edwards, who sang "Sunshine." Sunshine Go Away Today. I don't feel much. Yeah, that song. You know him. You know who Jonathan Edwards is. He'll be up at 8. And that's it. So thank you very much. And yeah, check out Tea with Gary V, Gary Vaynerchuk's Facebook page. Go follow him if you want to do anything and you want some motivation. If you're a business owner, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to paint, if you want to talk about Seinfeld on the internet and make money, um, there's no better recommendation than to follow at Gary V, VEE, 2 silent E's. Do it. I don't know why I'm telling you that. I'm sure you already know. Have a good night, and we'll be back with Caswell at 8.